Precious Mvulane is the Managing Director of GAD Consulting Services Incorporated, referred to as GAD. GAD is an auditing and accounting firm that provides its services to NPOs and SMEs. She holds a Bachelor of Commerce, Honours degree and a Diploma in Advanced Auditing. She's a Chartered Accountant and Registered Auditor affiliated with SAICA and IRBA respectively. Precious has written a book that is to assist you as a business owner to manage and run your business financial performance effectively and efficiently, ensuring that it leads to the growth that you have set it for. Precious, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What an introduction. You clearly are a woman who is set in her finances. Tell me a little bit about your background in the world of finance.
I basically did finance at high school, then also at varsity. And haven't worked anywhere else other than within finance, but in different areas, public sector, private sector, and now within the small business and non-profits.
Now, Precious, I mean, being in the profession that you're in as a chartered accountant, we do know that there is a shortage in South Africa. The numbers are slowly growing, especially with black females. What advice would you have for people out there who are looking to getting into such a career?
I think it's first just to understand that there's different, about plus or minus 9 professional bodies that are within accountants. So you might feel that maybe attaining the results that they need at high school for CA, you're not going to be able to achieve it, but you might actually be able to achieve others. And it's a progressive, it's a profession that you can start any level and grow as you're studying. So, and take your time to actually go through it. But it's a very big profession because it allows you to grow and you keep on learning, and the more you grow, the more you earn more, which is good.
And that's exactly what we want. And that's what you're here to talk about with us today. You wrote a book called Finance, The Essential Finance Handbook, and you've written this specifically for SME owners. Now, we know that a lot of SME owners, the crux of their business is within finance, and that's where they make it or break it. Why a book on this issue?
I basically felt the business owners did not understand that every decision that they make has a financial implication.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you're making a decision on marketing, on branding, you are making a decision on operations. It has a financial implication. And if you do not understand that, you will consistently be making wrong decisions. And by then thinking, what's the best way for me to translate this information? First of all, SMEs cannot afford chartered accountants. At best, they need just a bookkeeper to allow them to know what is going on. But they need also to understand what is going on, what do these figures mean. So I felt the book will actually be able to assist them with that.
Talking, Precious, about SME owners not necessarily being able to afford chartered accountants, how important is it to at least invest in themselves, either in books or short courses that will give them at least the basics on finance?
I'm of a view that a business owner should not even think about starting a business if they do not have a basic finance. You should just forget that you will ever run a profitable business or even a sustainable business for that matter. Because the decisions that you'll be making will be ill-informed because you don't know what will they mean for you to be sustainable. So there is lots of ways that they can access information. Today we have internet. Where you do not have internet, the books are available at libraries. And 2 weeks you can borrow a book, but it's also about self-development, consistently be attending. There's lots of workshops that are happening. Yes, most of them are happening in major provinces like Devon and cities. However, there are ones that are available. Others are even available online. We also provide workshops where we are trying to actually help because the level of literacy is very low, let alone in finance. So people have to understand that it's about building yourself with that knowledge and take it step by step. It's just doable. I didn't grow up just knowing finance. I learned it. So everything can be learned in business, including finances.
Talking about that, Precious, I mean, if I'm a mother maybe of 2 sitting at home and I enjoy baking and I really carry the finances, our personal finances, very well. I know how to be disciplined when it comes to the things that we buy. I know how to manage our home cash flow very well. Could that be an indication that I would be good in my business finances if I do decide to start a catering company or a company that does baking for the neighborhood?
I think it might mean that half of the problems are solved, but not all of them.
Okay.
Because you will need also to understand the market that you're going to be selling your cakes to.
Yes.
What price are they willing to buy for your cakes? Is it a high end or low end? And also, is the nature of my business a quantity business in terms of volume, or is it a specialized area? So those are the things that will be a crunch of your business. Because if your business is it's a quantity business, which means you need lots of volumes, which means then you need to have access to that market to retail those goods. So it's those decisions that, as a business owner, so therefore if you do not know your pricing, if you do not know your costing, there is no way you can get it right.
Yeah. In your own experience, Precious, in terms of the mistakes that SME owners make with regards to their finances, what would you say are the most prevalent ones?
The ones that we have seen, which has been a huge issue for us as accountants. Remember, we are also compliance officers. We basically, the regulators and the financial institutions depends on us to provide credible information.
Yes.
Has been business owners do not keep records.
Yes.
So they come to us as accountants and say, please help us to do financial statements, but they don't even have those documents
to go back to
for us to be able to account.
Yep.
What am I accounting on?
Yeah.
So that has been a huge problem for us as accountants and also for the business owner, because immediately I will then say, I can't do your job, or I will do the job, but I will have to qualify because the material amount that you want me to certify is right is actually an estimate because I don't have source documents. The second problem that we have picked up is also them ignoring issues of finance totally. They just wish something is going to happen. It's like, when you're afraid of something, you have a tendency of trying to
turn
ignore
your eye away from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they tend to do that, and they don't realize that it does catch up with them 2-3 years later when you have really run out of cash that you are pumping in your business. Whereas when you started, you made sure your costing right, your pricing is right, the market target that you've done is right. There is information available to make sure that you're targeting the right market at the right price. If you just make sure of those 2-3 things, I promise you, you have a better chance of actually making it for another 2 or 3 years.
Wow, Precious, we are running out of time. If there's any advice that you would like to give to our SME owners, and also where is it that they can get this essential finance handbook that you could give to all our viewers out there?
I think for me, the advice is that when you're running a business, or you're thinking about running a business, and you do not have an accountant that you talk to on regular basis, being quarterly or monthly, you are like you are riding a bus, or you are driving a bus that can actually do not have an engine, but you think it's actually running, because finance is the engine of the business.
Yeah.
And the book, they can actually be able to get it from Take a Lot, Kalahari, and also preciousmvulane.com. We have lots of shops that you are actually putting through. In 6 weeks' time, it's going to be available also at Exclusive Books.
Nice.
And Bargain Books. So they should just keep us. We're also on Facebook, on Precious Mvulane. We will also be updating them as the shops are being opened for books.
Precious, thank you so much. So the lessons learned here is keep those source documents, whether it's invoices, receipts, quotations, so that somebody's got a reference to go back to.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us. You've been a true inspiration.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us right here on SME Zone. Be sure to catch us again next week as we speak to other entrepreneurs and experts that will help you grow your SME. Good night.